Hi. So this is one of my favorite vintage antique journals because of the cover. I absolutely love this. This little piece here, detail, is hand tatted. And as if you know anything about needlework, tatting is a lost art. So I was really happy to have gotten this little scrap piece. It was just big enough to put on this book. And this is some very old lace. Believe it or not, that came off the set of Anne with an E from one of the scenes where they go into the dressmaker's shop. So I was pretty happy about that. And the same with these 3 buttons. They came from the set as well, and this little sewing hook. So this page here is from a 1920s magazine, and a woman's magazine, and I just think it's the most beautiful advertisement. I just absolutely love it. I might not be able to get rid of this one. And I even wrapped the advertisement around the bottom here. This here is an exquisite illustration. I've tried my best to secure it in here, but it is very brittle. But isn't she the best? I love this. And you can see down in the bottom here the type on here, and I believe it's almost 100 years old, if not more. You'll see some of these. This came out of an engineering book, and I love how the student has put in his own initials and whatever T and P mean. You'll see those throughout his pages. I keep those things in. I think they're very endearing. And inside this envelope, you've got some journaling inserts. So anywhere where there's space, you can journal. Tucked into the back of the envelope here, I've put in some invoices that you can journal on front and back. This is from an old gardening book, kind of a gardening magazine. And here's an old postcard of King George. Look at that, isn't that awesome? You can either just keep that or you can journal on it. It's pretty funky. We've got a journaling page here and an old pattern. Isn't that fun? Here's another old photograph here. This stunning woman, and on the back it is a postcard. That's what they used to do with when they had their photos taken, so that they could mail some of them out to family and friends. And that's on the back of another beautiful dictionary page. And look at the image on this one. This gorgeous butterfly, which there's not a lot in a dictionary, so that's a lucky page. Anybody who knows me knows I have a thing for butterflies. And I used old dictionary page for this journaling tag with the little stork on it. And there's always hidden tuck spots in my journal, so you have to really look for them. They're fun to find. And again, another pattern here, more journaling tags. Look at this great image. Again, we've got that beautiful botanical magazine. Some more journaling inserts. And there's that engineering book again. And here's another old invoice from Albercliffe, Ontario. I don't even know where that is, but it's pretty cool. And that's an old book page, East of Eden. Some of you might remember that one. I made this here out of vintage dictionaries as well, the embellishments. I did a little bit of sewing on there, so you can journal all throughout that. And we've got a farmer's ad here telling us all about squash. Hilarious. And then I've just added some more journaling space here for you. It's from a botanical book from the 1950s. And here, this pouch here is made out of an old music sheet. And the tag is from an old dictionary page. Oh, sorry, right there. And this is also from an old bookkeeping lessons book. And this beauty here is from a ledger, an accounting ledger that actually had some blank pages left in the back of it from the early 1900s. So that's super old. I even tried to leave in the staple marks, and that's where it would have folded in the ledger. It was quite large, wouldn't have fit in the book otherwise. And I love how they hand stamped the pages on them. I put more of those old invoices from Pearl's Ladies and Infants Ready to Wear shop. Dry goods, notions, and toys. It just cracks me up. And again, I made all of these little pouches here and decorated them for you. Another one of those wonderful ledger pages. This is just a funky little tag made out of really old lace. That's again lace from the set of Anne with an E, Great Canadian Series. So you can stamp on there. Another botanical magazine page. Look at this awesome pattern. This is from the 60s. obviously. Look at the hair. And you can tuck more of your things that you want in there. So you can add all kinds of things in there. Tuck them away. More journaling spots. Just a little journaling card here in a tuck spot. This is an illustration from an old botanical book. And I think it's stunning. The colors are so vivid, they're almost blinding. More journaling spots and another pattern page. And just another fun tag. I have to just tell you, whoever gets this one, this tag here, that's not cardboard. That is actually the binding that I pulled off of an old book, and I didn't want to throw it out because it had the old fabric and binding still glued onto it. So I reused it. That's fun. That's an old engineering book page pocket. Let's see what we have. That's the other half of that illustration, folded into the signature. Lots of journaling space here. And this is the back of a hand-typed story. This would have been the carbon copy of that hand-typed story. And in the corner tuck here, you've got more of the Pearl Shop invoices to journal on. Another one of those great botanical bird book pages. This would have been from the back of one of those invoice pads that waitresses would have written their bills on, or storekeepers. So I didn't want to throw it out, so in it went. This is from an old music sheet. And I've just tucked in more spots here to journal on. And all of these little embellishments that are throughout your journals are all from Antique Ephemera. Another journaling tag here for you. Every page is a surprise. There's more of that really old ledger paper. And this here would have been from a very old book. It's a little brittle, but you can still write on it. It's another one of those hand-typed pages. And then back here we've got an envelope that I've aged. So it's not an old envelope, but I made it look like one. But the insides are certainly very old. You can journal on those pages as well. More tucked into the back there. And then the end of the book is the actual blank pages at the end of the book. I love this book. I hope you do too. This one is 80 pages and I'm asking $65 for that. And it is first come, first lucky person served.